Have you ever wondered, what is the true genesis of the Israel-Palestine conflict? This question taps into the heart of a centuries-old dispute, a conflict that is shrouded in layers of historical, religious, and political intricacies. It's a question that brings to the surface a myriad of complex issues deeply rooted in the chronicles of time, a conflict that is not merely a tussle of territories, but also a clash of identities, cultures, and belief systems. The Israel-Palestine conflict is a profound tapestry of events, punctuated by moments of peace, outbreaks of violence, political maneuvers, and diplomatic dialogues. It's a story that unfolds against the backdrop of the ever-changing panorama of global politics, one that continues to evolve even today. This contentious conflict can be traced back to the late 19th century, a period marked by the rise of nationalism and changing worldviews. It was during this time that the seeds of the Israel-Palestine discord were sown, with the rise of an influential political ideology known as Zionism. Zionism emerged from the Jewish communities of Europe, an ideology born out of an age-old desire, a yearning for a homeland. It was a movement fueled by a profound dream, a dream that envisioned the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people. Palestine, a land steeped in religious and historical significance, was the land they'd call home. This dream, however, was not without its challenges. The path to its realization was fraught with obstacles, sparking a conflict that would resonate through the corridors of time. And so begins our exploration into the complex narrative of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Our chronicle commences in the late 19th century, with the rise of a political ideology known as Zionism. This movement, born in the Jewish communities of Europe, was driven by a dream, the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Fast forward to the end of World War I in 1918. The British, one of the main victors, found themselves in a position of newfound power and influence. One of the territories they now had control over was Palestine, a land steeped in history and conflict. This control wasn't just a random turn of events. It was a responsibility bestowed upon them by none other than the League of Nations, a pivotal entity in world governance at the time. The crux of the matter, however, was what British intended to do with this newfound power. As it turned out, they made a pledge, a promise that would have far-reaching implications. The British pledged to facilitate the creation of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. This was not just a casual promise, it was a promise encapsulated in the infamous Balfour Declaration of 1917. But the plot thickens. The British did not just make promises to the Jews, they also made assurances to the Arabs who resided in the very same promise of independence, made in return for their unwavering support during the World War. The Arabs were assured of a place to call their own, a place where they could exercise their sovereignty. Such is the nature of promises made during times of conflict, they often lead to more conflicts, and this scenario was no different. The British had effectively set the stage for a clash of interests. Jews and Arabs, both having received promises from the same power, now both laid claim to the same land. This, as history would show us, laid the foundation for a conflict that continues to resonate in modern times. This set the stage for a clash of interests as Jews and Arabs both laid claim to the same land. The tension escalated in the mid-20th century, a time of great upheaval and change. Around the globe, powers were shifting, new nations were emerging, and old empires were crumbling. At the heart of this tumult was the land cherished by two peoples, the Jews and the Palestinians. In 1948, a significant event occurred, the creation of the Jewish state of Israel. This was a moment of immense joy and jubilation for Jews around the world, a time of fulfillment and renewal. However, for the Palestinians, it was an event of profound significance and tragedy. They saw it as a disaster, a catastrophe, a Nakba. Displaced from their homes, their lives were irrevocably altered. Countless wars and uprisings have since ensued, each adding a new layer of complexity to the conflict. This turmoil, steeped in historical and cultural significance, has seen moments of absolute chaos and moments of potential resolution. Wars, like the Six-Day War of 1967, profoundly shaped the course of the Yom Kippur War of 1973, was another transformative period. Additionally, the Second Intifadas marked critical turning points in this protracted battle. These events highlight the deep-rooted tension and struggle. These are but a few chapters in this ongoing saga. Religion plays a crucial role as well. Jerusalem, a city regarded with reverence by Jews and Muslims, stands as a symbol of their shared yet distinct spiritual heritage. The Western Wall, a poignant of Jewish faith and history, is the last standing remnant of the Jewish Second Temple. Its stones have witnessed centuries of prayers and tears. Just a few steps away stands the Al-Aqsa Mosque, a sacred jewel in Muslim faith, revered as the third holiest site in Islam. Both these sites in history and spirituality coexist in a close proximity. This proximity of sacred sites further fuels the discord. In this video, we trace the origins of the Israel-Palestine conflict back to the birth of Zionism. Along the journey, we looked at the intricate promises made by the British to both Arabs and Jews. We touched upon the establishment of Israel, an event that left an indelible impact. We traveled through time, revisiting the numerous wars and rebellions that have significantly influenced the path of this conflict. And we didn't forget to consider the prominent role religion has played, acting as a catalyst in escalating the friction. We have delved into the wars and uprisings that have shaped the course of this conflict, and examined the role of religion in fueling the tension. But where does it end? The answer remains elusive. The Israel-Palestine saga mirrors the intricacy of history, politics, and faith. It's a chronicle of aspirations and letdowns, pledges given and violated. Multiple peace endeavors persist, yet a permanent solution seems far off. It's an evolving narrative, its ending still unwritten. The conflict's resolution is an undying puzzle, the pieces of which are scattered across the pages of history and the labyrinth of politics. It is a story that continues to unfold, its final chapters yet to be written.